Okay, so what I'm going to do now is the second question from that practice SAC and just do a little breakdown for you and with you. So that question was, through the play, Rose presents a jury room full of conflict and tension. Discuss. Now, unlike the other topic, which was how is this achieved, this is only a discuss. But remember that regardless of what this little tag is, we still have to show, because the criteria reward us when we show, we analyze how Rose achieves, like how Rose creates meaning, how Rose does this. So now a lot of people really just talked about whether there was conflict in the jury room or not. And I can sort of see where you'd go with this, because the topic is kind of just says it's a jury room full of conflict and tension. And so a lot of people just said, yes, there is conflict. Yes, there is conflict. And no, there's not conflict, or some version of that. Then the next level up was, there is conflict caused by racism. There is conflict caused by prejudiced ideas, and there is conflict caused by irresponsibility or lack of seriousness, and you kind of just took those three themes, which was okay, but it really needs to go deeper, as like I keep telling you. And so I want to give you some ideas of where you could take this. And so some of the strongest responses I saw encompassed some of the ideas that I'm going to show you today, as well as kind of like maybe one essay had one idea, another essay had another idea, and I've put all three, what I think is some of the strongest ideas together. And I want to show you how it can become more than just there is conflict, which is such a basic contention statement. And look, if that's all you can do, that's okay. You're going to pass through just doing that. That is, if you can prove that there's conflict, give me examples of it, that's okay. But for most of you, you're looking for more than just a pass. You want to actually go deeper. You want to score those really good marks, and we need good ideas. So what we want to think about is, yes, whether there's conflict and tension. Then I want you to think about why. I want you to think about the cause, and then I want you to think about the effect, okay? And particularly it's the strongest responses went here. And now the question's not asking that. However, when you've got to discuss, you're really invited to consider all of the different aspects of that question, right? And so what is the effect of the conflict? And so some great responses to this also looked at the how it's shown, and thought about symbolism. So there were some great responses that incorporated a great analysis of the use of the weather as a motif that continued, but you needed to analyze not just the motif, but also the themes that it was connected to. And so I'll show you the ideas that I came up with for this one. And hopefully you'll see, if you watch both of the videos that I'm posting today, you'll actually see how you'll see those same ideas in my suggestions to you coming through. So these were the three that I came up with. And so the first one is kind of like there is conflict basic idea, but I noticed the views and values verb. So here, warns. Rose warns that heated emotions and personal agendas can lead to conflict within the jury room. So the conflict does exist, but there's also this views and values. So there's a warning that heated emotions, personal agendas. So hopefully from this, you can see where I'm going. I'd be thinking juror 3, juror 10. Juror 3's heated emotions, juror 10's racism, both of them. You could use either one of those. You pick a moment and really look at what's going on there and the conflict within the jury room. Now, here I'd be really thinking about the fact that if left unchecked, these heated emotions and personal agendas can actually take over the deliberation and lead to a lack of responsibility, lead to a lack of rational decision making. So instead of allowing these heated emotions and personal agendas to persist, Rose urges a calm, rational approach to deliberation and to conflict within a jury room. But notice that here my comment, both inside and outside the jury room. So think about how you could incorporate juror 3, juror 10, but here that urges the calm, rational approach. You might be able to draw in the maybe juror 3 and juror 8, and that juxtaposition of the two characters, or that dichotomy of juror 3 and maybe the knife scene where juror 3 comes at juror 8 with the knife, and juror 8's calm, assertive response, kind of fearlessly standing his ground, represents the appropriate response to a hijacked, a heated person, a person who has been overcome and overwhelmed by emotion, like juror 3. The appropriate response is not to give in, to stand one's ground, to remain calm. Perhaps something like that you could analyze. Then my second comment on this idea of conflict. So that conflict actually is really beneficial. And Rose shows that, because as the jurors are open-minded in their debate and they question the facts, they work together to question the evidence, they're actually able to uncover the truth, or they're able to uncover a greater level of understanding about that evidence. So the open discussion that includes some heated disagreements at times actually allows a greater level of truth to be uncovered. So evidence here, you could use the different types of evidence. So actually similar to the last one, you could unpack the eyeglasses, you could unpack the knife, and how each of these pieces of evidence, or actually the best one might even be actually the eyeglasses, as it's the collaboration and discussion that unpacks that find them. The movies. So there's some debate over the validity of that evidence, that they unpack it and they actually disagree over it before they and they do it in a way where, as they do it genuinely, responsibly, they're genuinely open-minded in their attitude to finding out whether these are possible or not. They find the truth. So think about how you could analyze. Rose promotes the open-minded debate and suggests that conflict, when approached rationally, logically, calmly, allows for jurors to come to a greater level of understanding as they see one another's perspective and they can uncover the facts. Okay? And the third one that I came up with in terms of conflict was this, and it kind of was triggered by the juror 10, and that, because I thought about it and I was thinking about what conflict, that one of the main things is there's conflict over racism, okay, right? So that they have quite a lot of disagreements over the fact that the boy is from a slum background, and then juror 5 also from a slum background, and you could bring in any of these pieces of evidence, but you could bring in the fact that I think it's juror 9 is the one who says, "It occurs to me that you're an ignorant man." No, maybe that's juror 11, I think, and that where they, again, the jurors all turning their back on juror 10, the jurors as they stand up for juror 5, notice that by standing up against the bigoted views, they are not allowing those who express hate-filled sentiments to take over the jury room discussion. And so this importance of that conflict is essential when you come across bigoted views, because they don't actually, Rose is saying that we have to stand up against such bigotry, that he's not advocating physical violence right? But he's actually saying that we can't allow such racist, bigoted views to go unopposed. So he's actually inviting and encouraging us to oppose bigoted views and to go into conflict where we see racism. And through that, ultimately, people can come to a greater tolerance and understanding, which is the outcome of opposing the so opposing here is like going into conflict with those who are bigoted and racist, allows that greater tolerance and understanding to come. So whether you use Juror 10 here as the and his racist comments, okay, now you can use those, but more importantly, if we're talking about the conflict over them, we might look at how the characters oppose those racist comments, the different responses to those racist comments, and how Rose promotes standing up against that racist comment and suggests that this type of conflict is necessary in order to allow freedom and fairness to occur, both within the jury room and in the wider society. And that, I think, those 3 points will get you to some sort of answer that while Rose presents a jury room full of conflict and tension, he does, yes, he suggests that such conflict is an essential part of maintaining a democracy, all the best qualities of a democracy, but maintains that the conflict must be approached with a calm, rational manner and responsibility, integrity, whatever positive adjective you want to explore. So hopefully that helps some of you with generating your ideas and helps you to go deeper than just there is conflict. There isn't conflict, okay? All right. So have a great weekend, guys, and I will see you on Tuesday.